Hi friends, today we're going to do my less than 10-minute writing exercise that will improve your writing by expanding your vocabulary. I've selected 3 words for us to play around with. We're going to use each one of these words in a sentence so we can better understand them by putting them into context. I will give you general definitions, but I've also included links below to Merriam-Webster's website where you can find the formal definitions and pronunciations. The 3 words I've selected today for us to play around with are mandate, desecrate, and untenable. Mandate, desecrate, and untenable. We're going to have a little fun with these words. We're going to use each of these words in a sentence to play around with them. If you're familiar with these words, just have a little fun with them and see what you come up with. Otherwise, let's try to get a little better understanding with them. Starting with mandate. And mandate can either be a noun, a word that represents a person, place, or a thing, or it can be a verb, an action word. All right, and it means authoritative command or official requirement. Okay, let's first use it as a noun. The town had a mandate that its residents recycle certain waste. I'm sure all of us are familiar with recycling certain plastics and paper items and all that stuff. So this town had a mandate, an official command to its residents, that a requirement that their residents recycle. Okay, let's use mandate as a verb. The court mandated an investigation. So whatever had happened, the court said we need to investigate this. So they made it an authoritative command to start an investigation. All right, let's move on to desecrate. And desecrate is just a verb, an action word. It means to violate. Okay. Vandals destroyed and desecrated headstones in the old graveyard. And this is a terrible thing. I'm sure maybe some of you are familiar with this, where these certain vandals, whether they're teenagers having fun or whoever they are, destroying headstones in a cemetery. They desecrated these headstones. They violated these headstones. All right, let's move on to untenable. And untenable is an adjective, a word that describes, and it means unable to defend. Okay, the troops had to fall back as their position became untenable. So maybe they were running out of ammunition or whatever, but it became unable to defend. Their position became untenable. They couldn't defend it any longer. Anyway, 3 wonderful, interesting words: mandate, desecrate, and untenable. If you're unfamiliar with these words, play around with them, make them part of you so they're accessible to you when you write. If you enjoyed this writing exercise, please provide a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy writing.